On Thursday, 8th of September 2022, the United Kingdom received some big news.
A few moments ago, Buckingham Palace announced the death of...
No, even bigger, or potentially smaller depending on your perspective. That's right, I'm of course talking about the UK government reversing its moratorium on fracking. And now stop. I see your finger there, hovering over the back button. I don't even blame you. You must be thinking, this guy is not about to talk about politics, is he? I mean, I'm not going to take social commentary from a guy who poos in a plastic bucket and has never won a game of Star Wars Legion. This is beneath me. I know you're thinking it, and I hear you. I promise, this will be as apolitical as humanly possible, while still being something that will possibly be of interest to somebody somewhere. Which actually was the working title for this channel. Okay, so this little update was nominally a celebration of the fact that I recently ticked over 1,000 subs. Of course, in YouTube terms, this is actually small change. I'm seeing people who started around the same time as me getting to literally 10 times that number. But, you know, at least I'm not dwelling on it. You know, I'm actually content with my 1,000. No, really, I am. I mean, smaller channels are better, in a way. I mean, I won't make as much money as the bigger channels or achieve as much reach or, you know, gain as much influence. I'm not going to get sent free things or have early access to new releases, but I do have viewers and subscribers who I broadly appreciate. Anyway, we're going to get on to how this relates to fracking in just a moment, but first, let's take a brief reflection on the wild ride that has been Battle Camper over the past year and odd. And one of the key components of that ride has actually been the music. I make most of the music for the channel, which you could probably tell, and it started with this low-beat electronica cover of the Hobbit theme. In a similar vein to this, there was the complimentary Duel of the Fates when I went to the London Grand Tournament to play Star Wars Legion. I then kind of really lost the plot and made this cover of Take Me Down to the Ball Game with the lyrics replaced to be appropriate for Blood Bowl.
Take me down to the Blood Bowl, punch players pushed in the crowd. I want to grab flesh and a spine that's been cracked from a player who will never come back. Let me smell the fear of the home team. If they don't win, they'll be killed. For it's 1, 2, 3 fouls, you're out at the old Blood Bowl.
And then had to throw together this kind of jazzy version of He's a Pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean to cover up the indignity of myself falling in the Grand Union Canal when we were trying to paint Corsairs. So for anyone who's seen it, they'll know that at the end, there is a slow motion replay of me falling in the canal. And in hindsight, I absolutely should have recorded another musical number to accompany this, but I didn't. But now's my chance to have another whack at it. So here we go, new and exclusive. After this, we sort of moved into angsty noughties metal for my return to Middle-earth, when I took Painted Rohan to Scotland and brought them along to Scouring of Cheshire and Seven Stones. And finally, for this weird little tour that we've got going on, there was this smooth version of the Charge of the Rohirrim, which accompanied basically any epic drone shots I took during Lord of the Rings painting videos. And so given you've made it this far into this bizarre whistle-stop musical battle camper history lesson, I felt it worth unveiling the next project that I'm super excited about. In a sentence, it's, what if you were asked to describe wargaming in song form? Here's a snippet.
Well, it's like a video game that takes hours to load. Despite all my years of practice, can't remember where they go. Dropping models on the line is satisfying every time. It's gratifying as designing every mini, it's refined. By painting when it's possible, but it's not always possible. I've gotta go to work and do the things that just aren't optional. Then it's time to do a session, wasting time when time's not pressing. It's remarkably cathartic, there's no part I'd wanna part with. To see how far we run. We roll dice to try and shoot that gun. We roll dice to see if we survive. We roll dice and we don't ask why, because I can't justify it, but I can't justify it. There's a need in me to buy it, just to try it, just to pilot. In public I'll deny it, choose my words to sanitize it, and play cool to disguise it.
The full song is called, you guessed it, We Roll Dice. We had hoped to film the music video this weekend, but alleged rain has meant it's not been possible. But I'm stupidly excited to share this excitingly stupid project when it is completed. In the meantime, I'm actually going to be moving house, and I'm going to be getting a puppy who I sincerely hope will be joining me on future adventures and who is going to be an absolute content machine. Doubtless going to be the main draw of the channel, well above me, and maybe even above the poo bucket. Let's find out. I'm not being defensive. That's exactly as it should be. Puppies are just better than people. They're better. I actually have a bunch of videos filmed, including for 40k and for Star Wars Legion. I'm super excited to get back into MESBG. I have a big old pile of Elves to be working on. The yearning is particularly intense at the moment, given the incredible amount of new content and the fantastic new Asciliath box set. Speaking of which, I went to the amazing 7th City Collectibles recently in Nottingham. I'd heard about this store for a long time, and Will Champion, the guy that manages it, but I'd never actually been. It turns out it is a fantastic little place, a really amazing gaming space, and they have a great selection of models to purchase. Now, if anyone's sitting there thinking, it sounds a little bit like he's ramping up to shill for 7th City Collectibles, yeah, I bloody am, actually, frankly. Everyone else is shilling for someone, and 7th City is a good one. It's a good one to choose. It's not Amazon, is it? It's not some big evil corporation. It's a little wargaming store tucked away in a relatively picturesque part of Nottingham. I'm not Idi Amin, am I? Just get off my back about it. Christ. So anyway, I'm happy to announce that I am now an affiliate with 7th City Collectibles. They actually have an offer on the new Asciliath box if you purchase it this weekend. It'll be for £99.99 only on the 10th of 11th of September, which of course is a really fantastic deal. If you use my affiliate link, you'll of course be supporting the channel. You know how it goes. Please spend your way to destitution for my benefit. You are expendable, and I only have 1,000 subs. Even if you're not picking up Asciliath this weekend, or you're watching this video on the 27th of April 2025, and so this has no relevance to you, you can still use the affiliate link, and you'll still be supporting the channel. Anyway, if you have too much plastic already, don't worry, you can still spend your way into destitution for me. What better time than at the apex of the worst cost of living crisis for a generation to donate to me on Buy Me a Coffee. I have a membership scheme called the Hobby Vanguard, and anyone who is a member by next Friday will be entered into a raffle to win either the new Rivendell dice or the new Dale dice. Why not sign up, win the dice, then immediately quit? It's like giving me the middle finger, but in a mutually beneficial way. Anyway, Remember at the beginning of this video when I said it was about fracking, and then I just went on about other stuff for 10 minutes? Well, let's briefly get back to the fracking. So the new government has announced that they're going to lift the moratorium introduced in 2019 on fracking. Now this will come with some regret, I'm sure, to everyone. Any reasonable person, even the most die-hard pro-fossil fuel lobbyist, will realise that it still comes with a cost, even if you think that cost is worth it. And the cost is the destruction of the UK's precious little open countryside. Now that's not a judgment, but it's just a fact. You might still think it's worth it, either because you believe in global warming, but you think that energy independence must take priority, or you don't believe in global warming, in which case, why not crack on? Even if you take one of these two positions, you'll presumably still regret the cost of fracking to the countryside, unless of course you hate the countryside, in which case it is a win-win for you. And bear in mind what you're seeing at the moment is an unfinished testing site that was never in operation. The actual facilities are larger by many times over. And of course people on the other side of the debate will think that the worst possible time to announce a return to shale gas extraction would be after the UK's hottest ever summer by far. Either way, my concern for the purpose of this video is the limited access that people in the United Kingdom already have to open green spaces, public rights of way. People who've seen my videos before might know that I often get frustrated because access to green space in the UK is very limited. Further, this map shows the areas of the UK currently targeted for shale gas extraction, where those gas reserves exist, and unfortunately, they happen to coincide with some of our most precious areas of natural beauty. The Carron Valley, Norfolk Broads, Surrey Hills and the South Downs, all areas of outstanding natural beauty. Now the government has said that these sites won't go ahead without the support of the local community, but there's two problems with that. The first is, how will the local community get their say? We know that local councils are an imperfect form of democracy, and when was the last time that you responded to a planning application? The second problem is that this just isn't a local issue. There are people in this country who don't have an area of outstanding natural beauty on their doorstep, and so they travel to them. The UK is a nation of enthusiastic caravanners, boaters, tenters and hikers, and we flock to a few remaining areas of publicly accessible natural splendour. That's why we constantly get ourselves stuck up hills or have to get carried down a mountain because we try to climb it wearing inappropriate clothing. It's a fact that's become so tropey it formed the basis of a storyline in Peep Show.
Give me your phone.
Why?
I'm gonna call Mountain Rescue.
No.
That's what they're there for.
We're not calling Mountain Rescue. We're not going to be two of those idiots you hear about who go up mountains in flip-flops and sombreros and have to get rescued.
What, you'd rather be one of the idiots they find frozen to death being chewed by badgers, drinking their own piss?
So I think this is a deeply sad thing to have happened, and I think that it is short-sighted and we're all going to come to regret it. The government hopes that this decision will see gas flowing in as little as 6 months. Others are much less optimistic. Whatever the truth is, I promise that when an application is announced for a new site on publicly accessible land, I will visit it and film a video there. Perhaps therefore we can preserve it for posterity and bring maybe even 1,000 new eyes to this issue. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Remember to inject a high-pressure mix of sand, water and chemicals into the like button before you go.